Hello, everyone, and welcome to twitch.tv/the Onyx Path, where tonight we are gathered for Dystopia Rising Evolution, Making Connections Session 4. Before we dive into the evening's activities, a couple things I want to make sure that you are aware of. We still currently have the sale going on over at Indie Press Revolution. That sale is going through the 31st, and it's 50% off of OGL materials. So we're talking Scarlands, first edition Pugmire, Legend Lore, all those books and associated materials are 50% off. There's also, I believe, a couple of Chronicles of Darkness books up there, the Changeling, the Lost second edition, and Dark Airs 2, I believe, and their associated products. And all that is up at indiepressrevolution.com in the link I just shared in the chat. The other thing I want to make sure that you're aware of is at the end of this month, just like every month, the last Friday of the month is our game night with Onyx Path Publishing through Start.playing. That's on the 31st. We will be focusing mainly on Trinity, but any Onyx Path game is good. If you want to try out a new Onyx Path game, maybe you've got a Jumpstart that you've never had a chance to try and you want to run it for the first time, go ahead and list a game, get some players that way. You can also coordinate over in our Discord. It's just kind of a thing we like to run every month to get people playing games. And the last thing that I want to make sure that I bring to your attention is the backer kit for the Trinity Continuum Player's Guide is launching very, very, very soon, imminently, in fact. But in the meantime, you can head over to backer kit at the link I just shared in the chat and sign up to get updates when that goes live. There's also, I think, a early bird backer deal, but I don't remember off the top of my head what that is. Good way to find out would be to check out the backer kit page or check out the Monday meeting notes over at theonyxpath.com. I believe that, as they say in the biz, has paid the bills. So, before we dive too far into everything, I would like everyone to go ahead and tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, and anything you would like to promote. And this time I'm going to start things off with Kevin. Please, your pertinent details.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kevin Zarnicki, he, him, playing Rav, he, him, the assassin. Me, myself, I write RPGs. I do voiceover, mostly commercial. The cartoons that you might have heard me in are not appropriate for minors. But aside from that, have you ever wanted to do voices in cartoons that are inappropriate for minors, or write RPGs, or a novel, or any of that stuff? Are you tired of everybody on Twitter saying they're a voice actor and thinking, how'd you do that? I can help you. I can help you realize that dream. Check me out at Necromancy101 on Twitter for pertinent details and responses. Oh, so help me, we can oh, so help you. That's me. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Next up, Haley, please give us your details.
Hi, everyone. I'm Haley, also known as babe_blade666. I have an Instagram where I do different cosplays and stuff. I like experimenting with different special effects and things. So you can check that out. And I'm really excited to play. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. We're excited to have you. Always a good time to have you on the channel. Speaking of always a good time, Lecco, please give us your pertinent details.
I'm Lecco Rodriguez, teamlecco.com, a personal trainer and weight loss coach. I can be reached for a free consultation on the website or via Twitter at Team Lecco, TEAMLECO, playing Topher the Gopher of Green Gopher Dispatch and Delivery. When it comes to delivering your packages, we will spill the guts necessary to get the job done, even our own, and plow through rad typhoons, mutant dogs, encampments, Zed, and giant spiders in relentless pursuit of your glowing reviews. Next time you shop with the Gopher, consider our zombie-proof packaging. It could mean the difference between a delivery and an apology.
I love it. It's better every week. I absolutely love it. Thank you. And last but most certainly not least, CJ, please, your pertinent details.
Hi everyone, I'm CJ Starry, they, them. I'm playing Hayden Horn, they, them. And other than here, you can find me on my own channel, CJ Starry, as well as on Ink and Lyre, Lyre. Yay, let's do this.
Excellent. And before we dive too far into the story, I would also like to give you all the opportunity to make any tweaks. So if you'd like to move one dot from a skill to another skill or from an attribute to another attribute, you may do so. If you have any aspirations that were resolved, now is the time to replace them. And if you have any experience to spend, we can go over that as well. So does anyone have any tweaks or experience expenditures that they would like to handle before we dive into telling our tale?
I want to buy something.
What would you like to buy?
So I want to buy a skill trick. I think that costs 5. And does it matter which one I get? What are the requirements for a skill trick?
You have to have 3 in the skill.
Okay.
In order
So can I get another skill trick for a skill I already have a skill trick for?
Let me triple check that because I think you can.
I was looking. I couldn't find anything, but feel free to confirm.
Yeah,
If not, I have a different one I can get, but I kind of
Instinct says yes. It seems like you should be able to have multiple tricks for a skill.
Right, I would think so.
Yeah.
Give me.
Oh, but that would be the only thing I'm doing is buying either a skill trick for pilot or for one for technology.
You can purchase an additional skill trick for each dot above 3.
Okay, well, yes, then I can do that.
So
I will be purchasing Wayfinder. Wayfinder.
excellent. And if you could, for the good folks at home and your story guide, explain what that does.
Yes, the character, as in Topher, is used to long stretches with no road and plenty of terrain difficulties. Spend 1 momentum to ignore any complication due to environmental hazards to pilot rolls for the scene.
That is going to come in handy, no doubt. No doubt. Excellent. And I know, Darcy, you'd mentioned at the start you had an expenditure you wanted to take care of.
Well, I have 6 experience, and I was wondering if I can put something into firearms. But if not, that's also fitting.
Sure. So if you want to add a dot to a new or existing skill, it just costs 5 XP.
All right. Awesome. Got 1.
Excellent. And you can buy something and make a tweak too. So if you have another skill that you want to move a dot out of and put it over into firearms, you can do so. You just got to make sure you roll your firearms at some point during this session. Make sense?
No, I think it's funny that she can't actually hit anything.
Wonderful.
She can just run away.
And were you, and did you have to add any new aspirations this week, or?
I do. I don't know what to put though. Right
Drink
now
away
she's
the pain?
just pretty focused on, living La Vida Loca, I guess.
Okay,
like
so
making new connections and just acting a fool.
so maybe well, you are about to head into a city, so maybe you could add like check in with the local Light of Hedon while you're there.
Oh, yeah, okay. Let's do it.
That'd be a good short-term aspiration. Do you have 2 short terms and a long term?
Yes, now I do.
Excellent, beautiful.
I had to update my short term too. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what did you add?
So we completed getting me it said a hot meal, but it was more like a warm faceful.
Sure.
But I am in replacing that one, I'm taking reinforce the remaining cargo as my next short term aspiration.
Good call. Excellent. And CJ, did you have any tweaks or adjustments for Hayden?
Yes. Remind me, when you're purchasing an edge, is it so some edges are like, for example, 2 dots, some are 1. So there's a cost per dot. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes. So if
Okay.
you're buying an edge that is just 2 dots, it costs 6 XP. Whereas if you are increasing an edge from 1 dot to 2 dots, it is only 3 XP.
All right. I have 8 experience points. I'm going to spend 6 to purchase Adrenaline Spike, which is some people perform best under extreme duress. Your character acts on her fight response rather than flight. She can ignore an injury and a stress condition 1 time per day as she draws on her reserves of adrenaline.
Beautiful. I love it. Any other tweaks, new aspirations, things along those lines?
My new short-term aspiration is help a local.
Excellent.
And I am going to move 1 of my dots in pilot over to firearms for
Excellent.
a total of 2 dots in firearms.
Wonderful. So we just got to make sure you shoot at something before the session is out. And Kevin, any tweaks or expenditures, new aspirations, things along those lines?
New aspirations. I have get this box unhooked from my arm and connect with the local PO for info. Aside from that, how do you unlock more psychic abilities? I'm not sure if that's treated as a...
Those are edges. So yeah, so if you would buy, you get your base psychic abilities, and then your main psionics edge is how many dots you can take other psionics edges up to. So once you have 1 dot in psionics, you can take as many psionics edges as you want, up to 1. Once it goes up to 2, you can take those edges at 2, but you do have to buy the psionics edges separately. So your main psi edge is just like your max potential, basically.
Okay. And how much is an edge?
3 points per dot.
Okay. I'm sitting at 5, so I'm going to spend 3 of those and pick up a level of necrokinetics, which feels appropriate to
That is
instigating.
That is very appropriate. Absolutely.
So I am playing a necromancer after all. Ha ha ha.
You just took the long way to get there.
Sniper.
Just took the long way to get there. Excellent. And did you tell me what your new aspiration was?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 of them. Get the box unhooked from my
Excellent.
arm and connect with the local PO box for info.
Right. Thank you. Sorry, my brains are gooey.
Dude, it's the 21st century. Ain't nobody
Just
got
like
a solid
space.
brain.
Right. Exactly. So when last we met, the skyline of Philadelphia was coming into view in the distance. Now, looking at the invoice, you're meant to deliver this box to the Mutter Museum.
Mutter like mumble or mutter like one who muds?
Mutter like mumble.
Okay.
Creepier.
All that you know for sure is that is one of the graveyards in Philadelphia, or one of the morgues, I should say, in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And you have like a rough map location of where that is.
All right. So I will say we definitely got to drop one of these off at the morgue, probably the one that's hooked up to Rav here. But we're probably going to be in town at least for the night. So if anyone wants to go rustle up some lodging, I'm going to need a place to park and work on the wagon while we drop this thing off. Any volunteers?
I would, but I'm...
Oh, well, yeah.
So we've
I'll
got
go
to find.
see what I can muster up.
Yep, you're good at talking to people. That seems like the right decision.
Sort of.
Yeah, as far as the UPP is concerned, I guess let them know that we have a standing account here. How do I the Morgans? How would I communicate that we're using that for this job?
The only way that you would have to rapidly communicate is theoretically once it's installed. they should be able to use it to call back. Having said that, it's possible that Rav could reach out.
Well, I was talking about for just if we know that. So I was told as far as managing expenses that most of the major cities would have like an expense account connection for the Morgan people, so they can access
Yes.
the funds. So if Darcy's going to go off to handle that, she might need funds. That's what I'm saying.
Darcy and Hayden, and she'll grab Hayden, like link arms with.
Sure.
them.
So if you were able to produce some sort of proof that you're with this
Oh, yeah, I'll
shipping
provide-
company.
Well, yeah. So I'll hand Darcy the clean copy of the contract. Make sure you bring this back in one piece, yeah.
And she'll hand the important paperwork to Hayden, of course.
Hayden tucks into the inside pocket of the jacket.
The jacket slips it to an ally. The ally
Yeah.
sorry, I just want to keep the chain going.
There's a gnome inside my jacket who puts it in a safety deposit box.
Which goes through a portal.
And Doc,
You
you think
got
you're gonna need,
this.
you think you're gonna need
You got
supplies
this.
to take care of Rav. Grab whatever you need. Just make sure that let's settle in tonight. Make sure everybody's made whole. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get some supplies. We'll get a place to stay. I guess you've got to take him to the drop off.
Yeah. They'll help us figure out how to get him switched over. You all right back there, Brav?
Oh, I am peaches and cream.
So he's apparently delicious. We'll be fine.
Your best bet for finding lodging and supplies is an area known as Boat Town. Effectively, it's near the bay where about 50 or so derelict boats have been strapped together to create kind of a flotilla of a city. There's all manner of businesses and whatnot going there. Pubs, open air markets, hotels, drug dealers, pretty much anything you could want is available on Boat Town. So is it safe to assume then that Topher, you're going to drop Hayden and Darcy off at Boat Town on your way to the museum?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Excellent.
Wherever the commercial center, whatever passes for trade here. I don't know specifically. Like this is like the close we get to a city, right?
Yeah, this is one of the largest cities in North America. So
So I imagine there's people kind of everywhere.
yeah, there's kind of people mulling about. You notice there's like armed security as you're pulling into the area, but like they're not like stopping vehicles and shit. They're just they're there in case somebody either gets remarkably stupid or said wander up from the wasteland.
I'm kind of curious about that. Are there any signs posted about like psionics or zombies
No,
Or cannibals.
or cannibals?
no, nothing. No like caution signs. Like when you first when you come into the city, if you look like in the rear view, there's like a like a spray painted sign that says 100 feet past this point, it's your own ass. But other than that, no, there's nothing.
Never Liable, a podcast.
Right. So having said that, you drop Hayden and Darcy off. So Hayden, Darcy, what is the plan now that you are at the sort of shoreline of Boat Town?
I guess the first plan would be like to see if we see anything, right? Like any lodging listed either on a message board or in a place, unless Darcy had a better idea. That would be what Hayden would be doing.
Yeah, let's look around for an inn, but there's a detour I'd like to take if it's possible, if there's a Light of Hedon kind of temple around.
Absolutely.
Just the bar.
Absolutely. There's a rather large boat that has a wooden sign kind of hanging over the I guess plank that you walk from the main walkway up to the boat top. It just says Roscoe's sort of spray painted on this piece of wood. You can hear the music from kind of drowning out even the sounds of the crowd from about 200 feet away or so. There's definitely a party going on that boat. It is rocking.
Isn't it like the middle of the day?
Yeah, I believe it was like
Perfect.
noon 30 when you got there.
Hayden, in that
o'clock
case,
somewhere.
Hayden says exactly that to Darcy.
Day drinking, am I right?
Apparently you are.
All right, she'll just like kind of drag her on if she's like hesitant.
Right.
Hayden allows himself to be dragged. It is just like,
Okay. You
should we
drag
find somewhere to stay?
you
I
drag
can
them
wait.
up, and as you're on your way up, you see a couple of people immediately like run up and hug you both and start like shoving bottles into your hands, basically. And they're like, "Welcome! It's the holiest of holidays. It is the 3-day weekend."
Excellent.
Great.
Yo, this one saved my life. We need to celebrate. Stat.
They start screaming, and more beverages start making their way over. The music pumps up a bit louder. After probably about 15 to 20 minutes of just like being sort of almost mobbed by people as you're getting there, you a couple things you notice. One, you notice that you're not as special as this welcome makes you both feel. At your first arrival, you notice about 5 minutes later, another group of people sort of stumble onto the boat and are greeted in exactly the same fashion.
I mean, drunk people.
Everybody is everybody's best friend.
Like sipping a drink and looks at Darcy's like, this is a lot. Is it like this every time?
You deserve it. I mean, what you did back there, I get to live another day, and that's all I celebrate anyways. So here's to another day. She'll
Here's to
Cheers,
another
yeah.
day.
Excellent. You enjoy a toast with your hooch, and the party rolls on. I'll be back with you both in a moment. Topher, you pull up to the outside of the museum. You can see the museum itself is like a old, got like a marble facade, and you can see there's various. There's two rather large patches of open earth in front of it on either side of the walkway. Each one's probably about half acre of just like raw soil with various kind of like mulch atop it. You're assuming this is the one of the local morgues. Is there anything once the others are dropped off, Rav, are you remaining in the back or are you going into the front?
We can't put him in front because he's hooked up, right?
They got to unplug me.
Yeah.
Right,
Kind of-
but like that, unless you're just setting like that, the sack that's around this crystalline sort of the light baby, it is no longer attached to its packaging. Like you can hold it and move around.
Oh, do we do that? Is that what's happening now?
I didn't know that was a thing. I thought I was like latched up to a
No,
pallet full
no,
of like psychic
no.
baby juice.
No, there's just like if you'd imagine like a
Things I didn't plan to
like
say
a
today.
translucent sack that's been filled with sort of a yellowish pustulant kind of fluid that has a milky crystal kind of floating in it.
Okay. Well, I'll put
Probably
that
about the size of, if you imagine, like a soccer ball.
Sure. I'll put it in my cooler then. so that you get something to carry it in.
I was just gonna throw a blanket over it, be like,
Put a blanket over the cooler too. That's fine. Whatever you want to do, buddy.
I was picturing a pretty blue glowing gel sack. Y'all had to turn it into a bag full of psychic snot. All right. So the dystopia is indeed rising.
Well, then, yeah, I will. I will definitely. I would have invited. I would have invited Rev up to the front to sit with the cooler psychic
I grabbed
babies.
extra blankets before we left, so we are definitely set there. So yes, I will go with him.
Excellent. Are you, Rev? You're since getting into the city, you felt kind of a sensation of calm, but with a little bit of for lack of a better term, happiness, sort of pulsing through this connection. It seems as though the object is not frightened. It seems to be pleased, but also perhaps like a little excited or a little almost like it's looking forward to something.
I am not as of yet alarmed by this, so I will pay like unto like. Sort of just channel positivity back into it. There's a little spring in my step as I walk beside Toph.
You seem to be an awfully good spirit for someone getting slowly devoured by a psychic package.
I don't feel like I'm being devoured.
Oh, kind of look like you are, but I mean, you know, it's all about.
Do
It's
I?
all, it's all about the mood, right?
As you get about 30 or 40 feet up the walkway toward the museum doors, two patches of dirt sort of pop up in the morgue.
Hello.
And a pair of retrogrades with kind of long, spindly limbs, each one holding like a straight razor, sit up and look at you and say, "You dropping off or picking up?"
What that was okay. I'm Topher, Green Gopher, delivery dispatch.
You're expected. They sort of crawl toward you like in a very like J-horror kind of way, like almost like every third frame of their movement is missing. And they remain on all fours as they sort of crawl up, circle around you once, sniff a couple times, hover for a moment near the cooler, and then one takes the front, one takes the back as they escort you up to the doors.
This is fine. This is fine.
Nothing to see here.
Once you step inside, you see the museum. Though many of the display cases have been shattered and broken, the displays are still sort of set up, but they seem to have been repurposed. It looks like a lot of what is on display here is various medical technology from throughout the ages. And you see a very tall, lanky, retrograde woman with long, stringy, almost matted black hair, skin wrapped in leather and sort of rotting rags, with a large robe kind of over the top that's got holes in it, worn in it, large enough for you to see sort of the wrapping beneath. She's wearing a mirror polished brass mask that has a slit for a mouth and holes that expose her beautiful blue eyes. And she sort of glides almost over to you.
Oh, hello.
Greetings, you are the Green Gopher.
I am. You heard of me.
I was told to expect you.
Damn it.
You have a package for me.
We do. I will, but it's also attached to a member of my crew. There was a road incident, and the nutrient packet became damaged in transit.
She sort of leans in and starts sniffing. Says, "This one's broken.
I'm a nutrient package now.
Not irreparably, but I was told I would get one that was fresh."
Well, we do what we can with what we have. Sure, we can take that up with.
Were all of the parcels so damaged?
Well, no, but this is the one we need to offload first.
But is it, though? I ask you.
We have specific instructions.
What would it take for me to convince you that this would be able to make it very easily over to the AC? It's just really over the river. And for you to give me one of the unbruised.
Are you authorized to negotiate?
Well, we are in my home. I am very much authorized to negotiate here.
All right. Look, it goes like this. It's hooked up to this. It's hooked up to one of my crew. I would need, obviously, a suitable replacement to maintain the integrity of the thing, and something new to store it in.
A suitable replacement. She leans in, and you can hear like the sucking sound of trying to sniff through that mask as she like really just gets kind of in Rav's pulse points. Like, just real close. Your companion seems well.
Yeah, but this won't do for now. So I would need a replacement.
Why won't it do for now? You don't want to unplug that thing unless you're ready to plug it in where it's permanently going.
Exactly.
That would be bad. It might make it cross, and if it's cross, then it won't want to talk to the others. And if it doesn't want to talk to the others, this is a long exercise in futility.
This one is very excited to be here.
It's what?
She says, may I?
Why wouldn't it be?
Get some Hollywood actor Beck Bristow eyes.
She says, may I? And starts reaching toward the cooler.
Whoa. Are you going to sign for this thing?
I just want to look it over and see if it, in fact, will survive the journey and remaining attached to your friend.
You won't like the price if this isn't yours.
Oh, please do tell what is the price for you to take this one town over and give me a fresh one.
Considering I like having the use of both of my arms to provide the fire support necessary to do my job, I'd say an assault rifle and a backpack full of ammo for it. That's a lot of keys.
I suppose you want something that you could reasonably fire in one hand, correct?
If it's a submachine gun, I expect you to make up the difference.
No. She makes like this weird clicking sound with a couple of screeches in the middle of it, and two more of the sort of crawly folk come into the room. and she says, go get the AR-15 and all of the ammo that you can fit into a burlap sack and bring it, please. Thank you. Quickly, she smacks one of them in the forehead and they run off.
I will look at Rav while that one is distracted. Are you sure you're okay with this?
I didn't expect them to take it.
We'll find you a backpack or something.
Oh, they're bringing one full of ammo.
She says, "Can I get you anything in the meantime? Tea, some water."
I'm a humanitarian.
In that case, we did run into some raiders earlier. I might have a little bit of leftovers.
Excellent.
She lets out like a hiss and like a scream, and another one comes running in, and she clicks at it a couple times and smacks it in the face, and it runs off.
Hard to find great help, isn't it?
It is. Can I have my package now?
Sure, come with me.
Excellent. She starts walking along. She snaps her fingers, and like four more of the little helpers come running up. While you're walking out to the vehicle, another one of the helpers does bring you the burlap sack and an AR-15.
Is it in good condition?
It seems to be in perfect working order. Looks like it was like recently cleaned. And yeah, it's like a burlap sack, like you could throw it over your shoulder, like sack full of bullets.
I'm gonna sort through the bullets quick, do a little inspection checks on the brass.
Yeah, they all look reasonably good. Look like they were made relatively recently.
Yeah, if I hear a ding instead of a bang, we're in trouble.
As meanwhile, out in the front, Topher, you and your associate arrive at the back of the vehicle.
What do I call you?
She says, "I am the Mutter."
Oh, the mutter. Right. Oh, the
Yes. If
We call
you
him El Rey, as in the.
if you want to hang on ceremony, you may call me the grave robber. May I? And she like climbs up into the back again, taking somewhat similar spindly movements, and like hops on top of the pallet and starts sniffing it.
Normally we would carry it down with a hand truck, but yeah, that's fine.
She lifts the one that's left on top and pulls the one that was on the bottom and like lifts it herself and hops off onto the back.
Mutter.
Okay, then.
You've done very well. Once this is installed, I will be sure to send back a glowing review to the Morgans.
It's great to hear. I heard something about some raiders. I don't suppose they had any scrap with them.
Well, perhaps, I don't know. But if it's scrap you're in need of, I can certainly supply it. We have plenty here. You'd be surprised what people are brought to the morgue with in their pockets.
No, I wouldn't. Be surprised.
What is it you're looking for?
Just some materials. I'm going to need to reinforce the other box and make sure that I was unprepared for the amount of tension that it would elicit and excited.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I bet, especially across the wastelands, and that thing cracked open. These things are Z magnets. I don't know if your client told you.
Considering that you're ensuring that this is going to be a little more dangerous for us and you've been willing to pay so well so far, I assume you'd be willing to help us reinforce this against any further complications.
You're welcome to whatever you need.
I just need a workshop and some time.
Their generosity makes me extremely nervous.
It says workshop, not here. Workshop. Go to City Hall. Tell them I sent you.
Right, the mutter sent me.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go plug this thing into someone. He just kind of wanders off.
I look at the cooler. We'll be together a little bit longer.
You feel a warmth, almost of. You feel the same sensation as you get like when a cat slow blinks at you. Kind of emanate from this goo.
Can we
He's
keep
truly
him?
a mom now.
Meanwhile, back across town, Hayden, are you attempting to show any restraint in your revelries, or are you taking full advantage of the opportunity to get shit-faced? I was asking Hayden, not Darcy. I assume Darcy's getting lit.
Oh, I'm sorry. For some reason, my brain went, you said Darcy? Done. And that's not what happened.
That is not what happened, but that's
There's no question about it.
Clicks away.
This is definitely about Darcy. We're talking about getting shit. No, this is about Hayden, who admittedly probably did get shit faced when they weren't on the job often. But at the moment, as they're on the job, I would say they're not like completely restrained, but I would say a bit tipsy is probably the length of it.
excellent.
So
Once you're about
Perfect conversation.
probably 40, 50 minutes into the revelry, someone kind of stands up and they have a megaphone and they start talking about the reason for the season, for the celebration. They start espousing that, the Light of Hedon is about working hard and making sure that all is in readiness for the weekend's revel. But once a season, the holy time of Labor Day is observed, where you celebrate the fruits of the season's labor with a 3-day weekend, and any who don't make it are hopefully greeted into paradise if they do not emerge from the grave mind.
So it's this kind of work hard, play hard aspect, Darcy? Is that what it's about?
Actually, I wanted to ask you how you live. What do you live for, Hayden?
Finishes their drink before answering. I don't care how full it is. Finishes their drink before answering.
Glug, glug, glug.
It's a hell of a question to ask someone you just started working with a few days ago.
Meh. I just felt like it. I just felt like you needed this. Got a lot on your mind and a lot of people to cater to, I'm sure.
Yeah. I don't really know what else I live for.
To cater
Just-
to people?
Try and keep people away from death one more day.
Well, you're extremely good at it, and I'm thankful you were there back there. But it's important to live for the now. It's exactly what everyone is celebrating. That we're here now and that we're alive and doing well.
A
Don't
guy
think about the
that's
past and don't think of the future.
probably about 4'8" both ways sort of falls onto your table and says, "Do I know you? You look super familiar."
Who, me?
Yeah.
You know me all the way out here?
Yeah. I've heard, aren't you a dancer?
Why, yes, of course.
Well, he pulls out like a handful of keys out of his pocket and throws on the table. Dance.
She'll take them and be like, 5 minutes.
Dance.
I think Hayden goes, I think in that level of intoxication, that's considered a polite request.
Okay, well, I'm trying to be philosophical, Hayden. So next time you need a break from being yourself and being like, everybody's savior, let me know. If we survive this trip, I don't care.
Go do your
Just hit
dance,
me up.
and I'll see you when you're done.
Excellent. Is Darcy going to in fact
literally
perform?
dance. Yeah, let's perform.
Wonderful. Why don't you go ahead and give me a what do we say? Athletics.
Okay.
and whatever attribute you'd like to rely on. And you may add your was it entertainer background, I believe, as enhancement
Okay.
to that role.
Let's go. Oh, that's not very good. I got a 10, so I'll re-roll. Got one success.
Well, and just as a quick reminder, you do currently have 4 momentum in the pool. So, do you want to spend any of that?
Nah, I think it'd be funny. Let's just totally fail at this.
Well, it's not a total failure. You seem to have very much impressed the gentleman who, and I use that term very loosely, who requested the dance. You're not really catching a whole lot of attention from other people, and there are, to be fair, people dancing on virtually every horizontal surface that is above floor level. So there is a bit of a crowd gathered during this dance. Hayden, that gives you kind of an opportunity. Where would you like to focus your attention for the 5 or so minutes that Darcy is dancing?
Probably Hayden will do mostly the standard, scan the crowd for threats or liabilities, and then split their attention between Hayden, if they can see or Hayden, that's me. Jesus, it's late. It's late, y'all. I'm in the UK. Split their attention between Darcy and any entrance and exit points.
Excellent. Why don't you go ahead and give me a culture roll with whatever attribute you'd like to rely on for like assessing the area.
Yeah, I'm gonna do intellect. Of course, I'm gonna do intellect.
Sure.
Culture. Okay. Yep, 1 success.
Okay. You notice a couple things. One, everybody seems to be largely enjoying the spirit in which the evening is intended. Nobody's really cutting out a line. You see like one person kind of like get pushy with another person several tables over, and they are bodily removed and thrown over the edge of the boat. As the person yells, "Cool off!"
Hayden chuckles a little to himself, despite himself.
The second thing that you notice is there are several sort of bars set up, not necessarily traditional bars. Like there's a couple of like, this is a bar that people might sit at with booze stacked behind it. There's also like what looks like maybe an old like card table from like a casino that has kind of just a makeshift bar on it. But you do notice at least 2 of those barkeeps sort of directing folks to some sort of like what looks like a door that leads to the lower decks. Like people are coming up and asking them, there's an exchange, and they point them down to the lower decks.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep, that's what Hayden does with that time. Just observes, remains tipsily vigilant with 1 success.
Excellent. And Darcy, you finish your dance. The guy claps, throws another handful of keys, and then throws up and stumbles off.
Yeah, I'm taking all those keys. She'll split it with Hayden.
Excellent. As you are counting loose your spoils, did you have anything else that you wanted to say before we hop back over to the other side?
I don't need these keys, Darcy. I didn't do anything.
Well, my treat, I'm generous. Generous gal.
I've got a question, actually. I don't know if you'll know, but this seems to be your setting. People seem to keep asking at the bar about something. Obviously, couldn't hear them and then those people get pointed below decks. What's that about? Do you know?
I'm going to make a culture roll, Darcy, and you can add your path rating with the Light of Hedon if you have a rating in that path. I don't believe.
I have inklings as a player. What?
But yeah, you can.
Multiple-ish things this could be.
But yeah,
so I got 3 in culture, and then what?
Whatever attribute you'd want to pair that with in terms of like remembering the practices of your faith.
Resolve, because I'm very drunk.
Very good. That works. Yeah, culture and resolve.
It takes a lot, okay? Bring power. That's 1 success.
We're doing great. We're so
Excellent.
good.
Excellent. You're pretty sure, like, pretty much any time that the Light of Hedon has a revel, areas of the temple are reserved for private needs, whether that be people who are too modest to physically celebrate publicly, or if they need somewhere to pass out and purge for a little while, or maybe just to get away from overstimulation. So you're assuming that's probably what that is.
The ship is pretty thoughtful there, Hayden. That's for people that have passed out, don't want to party, or like, you know, they're too overwhelmed by everything that's happening below deck.
Well, I guess that's one way to deal with how much all of this is. I noticed it was pretty interesting, actually, that people don't tend to get too out of hand or pushy, and if they do, they don't stay here long.
Well, it's reserved for people that want to celebrate life, for celebrating today. And if you know, aren't down for that, then get the hell out. That's not what today is about.
Huh.
The distance almost to punctuate what Darcy just said, you hear another splash.
Well, eventually.
This is how I keep such an upbeat attitude. I wish Rav was here. I'd like to get in his brain as to why he's so serious about this whole thing.
I could think of any number of reasons, and I probably still won't come up with the right one. Eventually, we're going to have to find a place to stay and pick up some more medical supplies, but...
Yes, our responsibilities. Let's get on with it.
Maybe we can come back and bring the other 2 when things have
I like it. I like your thinking.
settled down a little bit. Maybe we can let loose and celebrate none of us falling to the Zed. Or the Rad Storm. Or the angry people.
I said let loose.
Or... yeah, what you said.
Excellent. The 2 of you then, I assume, step away from the boat, or at least from that boat, and go look for like a more somewhere that's more conducive to actually like sleeping for the night, which isn't difficult to find. I will get back to you momentarily. Topher, before you take off to head to the to City Hall, another one of the servants comes out carrying what appears to be the lower leg of a person that has been wrapped roughly in like a rag, and they just hand it to Rav.
Need a fork or anything?
We are living rich, indeed. A whole thigh, just for me.
Just don't spill it in the cab. That's all I'm asking.
Oh, not a drop wasted.
Yeah, good.
As you hop in and start heading to City Hall, Rav, you feel almost like a ringing sensation in your mind. Like someone is asking you to open a connection.
Does it say tinnitus or phone call?
More phone call
Phone,
than tinnitus.
phone call. Okay. Hello. We're solid snake in this one.
Is there a reason you're still plugged into that thing?
I'm sorry. Who's calling?
You may call me Mother.
They weren't willing to take this one.
By they, I assume you mean the recipient in Philadelphia.
Yes, but the next one.
Well, the Mother has always been stubborn, one might say, peculiar, absolutely bonkers. Not necessarily a team player.
Peculiar suggests a mean of normality that I don't think exists.
That's fair. Just are you experiencing any heart palpitations, dizziness, confusion?
Should I be?
No, no. And if you do, feel free to reach out. Senses of anxiety.
Really more a feeling of gentle euphoria?
Oh, that's good. That means it likes you.
Should I be worried about anything?
Aside from the possibility of attracting any Zed that you might pass, and potential post-separation depression. Other than that, no.
I see. Do you have any advice or demands?
Keep it safe.
That was always the plan.
Maybe sing to it before you try to go to sleep.
Funny, that's how we met.
Singing to it?
Yes.
Curious. I would love to pick your brain about this once you're all done. If you are in fact returning back to Morganstown, I would love to have a conversation with you.
I'm certain if there's more work to be had.
I would absolutely compensate you for your time as part of a research study.
I see.
Please do take note of any strange side effects you might notice, odd sensations, psychic feedback you pick up, anything like that.
Very well.
We've never really plugged it into a person before, strictly speaking.
Well.
So,
It's thrilling to be a pioneer for the sciences.
oh, quite. Well, in that case, I will let you get back to your rest. She terminates the connection. Was Rav having that half of the conversation out loud, or was that?
I was assuming not, but if it assists you in narrative, I'm
No, it's
perfectly
up.
willing
It's
to
just
let
up
it
to
be
you
the
and
case.
Topher. I'm just asking.
No, yeah, I'll say it out loud. That sounds awkward. I'll lean into the awkward.
I don't interrupt him while he's kind of talking to clearly occupied. I'm looking for City Hall, right? I'm occupied. It's good cabin noise. But then when it kind of ends,
Plus, how many questions do you want to ask the man eating a human thigh and talking to himself while strapped to a psychic pus baby?
that's the other thing. Is like his mouth was full the whole time, right? So he's like chewing and talking the
He's got
whole time.
he's got an assault rifle.
Yeah. So you prefer leg meat or?
I actually just prefer the blood, but I figured I should fill myself with something.
Oh, are we worried that you're gonna like run out of whatever that thing is eating?
No. Actually, unclear. Cannibals have the option of eating. I'm not sure if it's a necessity that they do. I'm not sure if that's clear in the book.
No, I don't believe that you are like penalized if you go too long without eating flesh.
Okay. It's an option, an optimal option.
Okay.
Anyway, I have spare provisions in case things go too long.
Well, I was thinking we could probably use a break here. So I'm just going to take
I'm fine with that.
leave in the morning. All right. Plus, I want to get some work done on the. Got some thoughts on the gopher and some ways to maybe help you out and definitely to reinforce those other boxes. So
I think that's wise.
You pull up to City Hall. City Hall is a heavily reinforced building, and you see there's about 10 armed guards out front.
Hi-oh.
State your business.
Mutter sent us to speak to someone about getting access to a workshop.
Perhaps in the squawk box. Just a minute.
Sorry, the Mutter.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, there's some idiot out here. Yeah.
Mutters, mothers.
In a truck. I don't know.
The truck with a green hat. Thank you.
About 5 minutes later, a woman comes walking out with 3 armed guards. She's average height, red hair, blue eyes, wearing effectively riot gear. And she walks up to the window and says, "Green Gopher, right?"
You're armed.
Well, mayor is a tough job. My name is Mila. It's nice to meet you.
Pleasure's all
I was told to expect you would be in town delivering some sort of parcel. What brings you here?
Well, we ran into a bit of some road trouble. I wanted to take the time to reinforce the truck and before getting on with the rest of our deliveries.
Okay. Yeah, there's
interest in the distribution of the other packages as well. So
sure. Yeah. No, it's very exciting stuff. I look forward to being able to communicate over distance. That's going to be quite an asset to our settlement. You can pull around back. The guards will wave you in. I assume
a ton of people to walk around talking to themselves. Anyway.
I assume you have the materials you need.
Actually, no. But I was also told that I would be provided what we needed.
Who told you that?
Mutter.
That we would provide what you needed?
Well, no, that we could, if we needed to get scrap, we could get scrap or wherever we needed to get materials.
Here.
Okay. I assume that whatever you rack up will be billed to the Morgans then?
Oh, that's already there. That's that's kind of the matter at hand. Otherwise I wouldn't be, this isn't one of those jobs that I could, I guess, self-fund. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
A lot going on here.
And are those as attractive to Zed as I've been told?
Yes. Wouldn't it be wise to get us out of town quickly?
No, I mean, we usually keep a pretty solid perimeter around the outside, but I will go ahead and double the guard just to be on the safe side.
Wise.
Well, I didn't get to be mayor by being stupid. All right. So go ahead and pull in back. If there's anything you need, just ask one of the attendants. They will help you out. And try not to make too big of a mess in my workshop.
Hey, Rav, can you drive a bike?
More or less.
I will hop off the truck and extract my motorcycle from the rear. I guess meet up with the others and see if you can figure out where we're going. Well, left them at Boatstown, so find them there, let them know where I'm going to be. Just keep each other safe. I'll be here all night.
Likewise.
Do you have anything more substantial than a cooler to keep that the glow baby in?
That's actually one of the things that I'm hoping to rectify here.
Cooler, and it's wrapped in a blanket.
I just need a place to sit down and make some blueprints, Mayor.
She has a couple of her people lead you over to the workshop. So you're going to work on designing something for Rav to harness the glow baby before Rav goes out on the bike.
I mean, we can let him go. Like we're gonna have to sync. I don't need time to build it anyway. So
Right.
and I have the other packages here to use as.
But what I'm saying is, you're expecting Rav to hop on a motorcycle carrying a cooler.
Light
I
baby?
can put it in a. I can put it
It's
in
a
a
pus baby. Thank
No,
you.
I can put it in one of my courier totes, so we can strap it to his back. At least.
I was actually thinking take my empty backpack, put the cooler into it, wrap up the hoses with some cloth. It'll just look cool.
Okay.
And I mean, it's a cooler. If I land on it, it's not going to crush it or anything.
That's fair. All right.
Put it near your belly, you know.
I do take Raz measurements though.
Excellent. Good call. All right. So you'll have some rolls to make in a moment, Topher, but we'll get back to you. Rav.
Iron horse motorcycle is what it is.
Excellent.
Sweet.
Rav, you ride over to Boat Town, and
Can I make a detour to the post office outpost?
absolutely.
Okay. Stopping in, checking any notices. I assume that the post office, like in support of its postal workers and couriers, are they have some kind of like rumor board. Hey, notice Raiders here. Hey, notice Zed swarms here. That kind of thing.
Absolutely, yes.
Could I reference that intel, update our maps, and figure out if there are any horde movements or known raider activity along the path that we're going to take?
Yeah, go ahead and make a survival roll, and you may add whatever attribute you feel is most pertinent to that.
Hey, dice. All right. Sorry, I don't know if that was a hallucination or somebody just slammed on my door. So if there's gunshots, assume that I keep going with the group. Anyway.
Fair enough.
Okay, all right.
That
D10s.
escalated quickly.
I live
was
right
just like-
fast. All right, so
Sounds right.
survival 3, and I'll go with cunning.
Excellent.
All right, so that's another 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Beautiful. So you are able to update, basically find a route that's at least allegedly relatively safe to get to the big AC from where you're at, that you should avoid any sort of raider encampments or Zed movements that they're aware of. You also do find that there's a bounty. A gentleman was assaulted, showed up a couple days ago. Their face had been cut off, and they're looking for the person that stole it. And there's a 50 key bounty for the safe return of their face.
Okay, that was the next question.
Yeah.
The perp, the goods, both dead or alive?
They're more concerned about their face. Obviously the perp has broken the law. So do what you will, but the person is offering a 50 key reward to have their face returned.
Side quest activated. Philly face off. Okay.
You can have some of mine.
It keeps coming back.
It's not like 50 keys for my face or 25 keys for any face. It's
Specifically his. So
How much is it for my face?
are there any like identifying marks? Like I'd know him if I saw him.
yeah, there's like a relatively good artist rendition of what the face looks like.
What about the face of the guy who took the face?
There's just a very vague description.
Things I did not plan on saying today. Okay. Do we have an idea of like regular raider groups, what they look like? Do they wear like colors? Like,
Yeah, the raiders break out into various different sort of subgroups.
we don't have to go into it right now, but
Yeah,
like,
there are.
when I see him, you could give us extra info.
Right, there are common raider groups. Yes.
Okay, cool. Aside from that, I'll chat up whoever's there, collect some rumors, just general stuff with an eye towards anything about the Morgans without giving away that I'm working for them.
Oh, sure. Yeah, as far as like intel about the Morgans, you basically pick up kind of what you already know. There, you do know it is a little surprising to you that their reputation is so strong this far east, considering that they're from south of the pit. Like this is usually a family doesn't have quite that big of a reputation unless they're one of the major families of the Blue Bloods. So you can assume that they are a powerful and widespread family based on kind of what you're hearing. But there's nothing any more untoward than you would expect from a Elitaria family. Obviously there's a lot of people that don't like them. Obviously there's a lot of people that resent some of their decision-making stuff, but nothing like super untoward pops up from your investigation, from your asking around.
Last question. Do I get the impression people know that they sent an important shipment? And if so, do people know that we're the ones who have it? Because we talked to two figures of power who would know, but I'm curious on the ground level if this is a known thing.
No, in fact, the only thing the post office would know specifically is that there was a parcel that the Morgans tried to hire that for some reason the office in the pit turned down. The details as to why it was turned down or not.
At some point of off-camera conversation, I will convey all of this to everybody.
Excellent.
Okay.
Having said that, you make your way over to Boat Town and you're able to kind of locate eventually Hayden and Darcy as they're coming out of a spot where they've procured lodging for the evening. Just in the interest of getting things moving along, as we are a little tight on time, we got about 45 minutes left in tonight's session. Downtime activities that you would like to pursue while you're resting over the course of the next day. Topher, I know you've got some repairs you wanted to do. So walk me through it. What do we got going on?
Yeah, so I'm doing two things primarily. And I was trying to figure out all the system stuff here so that we could breeze through it. But so I'm working on blueprints for two things. Version 0.1 of the Z-proof green gopher Versatote, and this is for carrying the parcel. And also I've always had the whole Z-proof shipping crate is a real thing. that's my zombie-proof packaging. They said they had their own. I believed them. That was my first mistake.
Sure.
So I'm going to go ahead and repackage these my way. And so basically all I'm doing is adding tags and complications for zombies to the crates themselves. And the Versatote is basically going to be kind of a self-contained soft armor pod to prevent breakage. Like it's just very difficult to damage it or anything inside. And it's gonna be relatively light. So whether I'm using like padding or like kind of stacked accordion style, whatever, I don't know. But I'm a scavenger. So wherever they have me looking for parts, I will do my best to find the best so that I can either try to like increase the durability scale of the tote or for the crate or what have you. Depending on how much, how many milestones I can get out of the time.
Right, so what tier are you going to aim for?
So the truck itself, I'm not worried about. I'm worried about the crate. So I personally think that I could probably get like a tier 3 or higher, maybe even like a 4 for the crates themselves. I'm shooting for 5. Like I'm shooting to put it in armor durable enough to like be about as durable as the truck.
All right. Give me a tech intellect at a difficulty of 5.
So I also have tech whiz.
Okay.
So adding half of my survival skill, if that's okay.
Absolutely. And that comes in as enhancement?
I think so. Let me double check. Tech whiz. Page 77. Everything's on page 77. It's a great page.
It is a handy page.
It's got moving parts. Characters all about it. And crafting repair rolls. Your character may add half as enhancement. Okay, cool.
Okay.
As long as the skill is the one used to operate this device. So this is for the tote, obviously.
Okay.
The other one's going to be pilot. It's going to be tech and pilot for the truck.
All right. Give it a shot.
All right. I may request momentum on this when time comes, but we'll see how we do.
Feels important.
You have some enhancement.
Yeah, a little bit.
We're good. 10-3 roll, right? And what am I looking for so that I'm trying to hit milestones, right? His difficulty is the tier, so 5, right?
Right. Your difficulty's 5.
Okay. And with the remainder, I can do what?
This is just to build your plans, right? So,
okay. This is for the plans. So I got 7 for the tote.
excellent. So that will be, and that's including your enhancement?
Yes. I got 5 material.
So now you can spend a point of scrap and roll.
Right. So the scrap's tiered, right? I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure the scrap is tiered. So like there's rare scrap, which is like 5 dot, and then there's like 1 dot, which is lame.
Sure.
And in order to meet the requirements, I need how much?
You need enough dots worth of scrap to hit the tier.
Right.
Which you have access to. It's just being pulled out. So,
okay.
So
I
you
think
would,
with scavenger, I get a free one. That's kind of why I'm asking.
Right.
Never mind.
right, but you're ultimately pulling out of
Yes.
a pool of your compensation. So just make a note that you're spending 6 scrap worth of, or 4 scrap worth of stuff. And give me another tech intellect.
And this is for the actual crafting, right?
Correct.
Right. Do I get enhancement from the blueprints? Is that what that's for?
Correct. Yes. So your net over, so you'd have 2 enhancement from the blueprint.
Okay. Yay, making things. 8, 2. So that is 4 so far. 5, 6.
Excellent. You're able to complete the construction, and you said you were also working on some repairs for the vehicle.
No, well, the vehicle is fine. I was working on the crate was the second one.
Okay.
There's the tote for the messenger bag basically, and then reinforcing the crates with the zombie fruit packaging.
Right.
Or Zed proofing. Sorry, T.
So your second, then you're going to need to make one more set of the same roll.
Yep, I got you.
effectively. And then mark down again another 4 scrap worth of expenditure.
Okay.
Whilst all that's going on, are there any particular traits that Hayden and Darcy were seeking out in a place to stay, or are you just looking for somewhere that's like cheap? You're looking for like quiet? Or are you looking for easy to access? Is there anything in particular you're looking for, or just kind of the first place that looks like it has beds?
We're looking for the best of the best because it's on someone else's dime.
Excellent. Okay.
Can it be close
Hayden's
to the
looking for
truck?
secure,
Okay.
less ins and outs.
You find a place that's actually right on the shore, just off of Boat Town. That is called the Holiday, and it looks to be like a very secure building. The rooms are somewhat spacious, and you can get in there for the low cost of 15 keys per room, so 15 UPP per room. So if you're gonna get 4 separate rooms, you'd be looking at 60. If you're doing 2 rooms, it'd be 30 UPP. So just mark down that as well as coming out of like the overall expenses.
How many rooms?
You're getting 2 rooms.
Or actually, well, we don't know. There's only 3 of us for the night, so we probably
4
Game
plus
two.
1 in the oven.
And
And we
Rev,
want connecting rooms with like the little.
like a suite that's got like a door
Pulling
between them.
down the paper.
Yeah, a suite works too.
Well, in that case, let's do 75 UPP out of your group pot. And Rev, are you going to actually attempt to pursue this case while you're in the sort of downtime that you have before you head for the big AC?
Pursue which case?
The missing face.
Oh. I mean, I'd love to, but baby on board, you know?
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Feels irresponsible. I can always serve. If we're going back to talk to mother, not mutter, not mutter, then a theme, Travis.
A lot of MNPCs, yeah.
Yeah. So I could always hit him on the swing back, but that's outside the purview of this game.
All right.
I was unhooked, yes. As it stands, I'll use my downtime, one, to check back to the truck, make sure that the assault rifle, that the machine guns and everything are fully loaded, greased, cleaned, and ready to rock. Otherwise, should one of us be staying with the pallet just in case somebody gets wind of this very, very valuable cargo? You'll be with it all night.
Topher's not planning going anywhere.
Topher's got the cargo
You're gonna get some sleep though.
in the workshop. Yeah.
Okay. I'm willing to take a shift in the garage while he gets some sleep. Beyond that, rest, gear up, keep breathing, eating for two.
Beautiful.
Realistically, I think we probably might just go with the one room for the 15 because we would know at this point that as a group we tend to take shifts.
That's fair. Yeah. Totally fair. So save yourself a little bit of money. Excellent.
Hayden would probably have to talk Darcy out of that. But I think Darcy might be. Are you frozen for? Okay, you're back for me. I don't know if you were frozen.
Well, there you are. Yeah,
Yeah,
you've been
I
grinning
think-
at us with that corpse face for a while.
I think you stuttered for a second.
Yeah, I have crappy internet connection. I'm sorry.
You're all good.
No.
All good.
Hayden tries to market it that we can all spend more quality time together if we're in one room.
Fair enough.
Sharing is caring. It's more
Yeah.
intimate. And
Hey, anybody who makes a roll, use momentum. We get more XP.
So I got 7 and 9 on those rolls. By the way.
Use
Excellent.
momentum.
You've created a massively safe tier 5 Z resistant container.
Z-proof green gopher shipping crate TM.
If that's how you want to market it, I'm just saying, that's how you lose false advertising suits.
Does it come in black?
Find me no lawyers out here.
Zed resistant does seem like the more conservative option.
As you are finishing out your evening stay, you all get rested up. You're able to engage in some light, but not too much to prevent your timely departure revelry, and able to get sufficient rest and recuperation. As you are heading out, making your way, is there anything else, I guess, that you want to tackle before you make your way toward the big AC? Or were you going to try to go to Old York first, which would require a little bit of back and forth?
I would defer to my navigator.
Big AC is definitely closer.
And also the bearer of, Oh, and so the way this tote works, basically can be either carried as a messenger bag or worn over both shoulders or one shoulder. And it's just basically just like it's a carrying pod with, convenient ports to either put things like, I don't know, nutrient hoses or headphones or water bottles for like a camel pack. Yeah.
So it's like one of those neat bags on Wish, except it totally works, mixed with like a dog carrier backpack with a little astronaut window.
This thing is probably missile proof.
A missile-proof camel pack.
Can you make the whole plane out of it? Okay, that's.
And I'm guessing it probably weighs like a good 25 pounds.
Yeah, it's probably not light.
Yeah.
That's fine.
As you are making your way toward the AC, you have, do you recall offhand, Rev, how many successes you got on that survival roll? 4, excellent. So what we're going to do in order to cover as much ground as possible in as swift a fashion as possible is the drive itself is about 3 hours. During that time, rather than going sort of round by round, I would like to know what each member of the group is contributing to the safe arrival of your group in the big AC. I'm assuming Topher is going to be contributing piloting.
Yes, and wayfinding and pathfinding. I have both.
Excellent. And what do both of those do?
Well, wayfinding is the skill trick that lets me spend momentum to ignore road complications for a scene. And then pathfinding is just my specialty.
Excellent. So if you wish to spend that momentum, you may absolutely do so.
Yeah.
That's one momentum down. What is, aside from the survival roll that was made ahead of time, which will act as enhancement, as a pool of enhancement that you can all draw from. Also, because of the interactions, you all may increase your bond by 1, so you should all have a bond of, I believe, 2 now to one another, correct? So that is another pool of enhancement you can draw from. What would Hayden like to contribute to the safe arrival in the big AC as you're moving through?
Survival and firearms, ideally. Keeping their eye out for threats of any sort, and if they are minor threats that are taken care of, they will use firearms to take care of them.
Excellent. And Darcy, I would assume similar because you also did a firearms tweak this at the beginning of the game, correct?
Yeah, to kind of fool that I'm like contributing, I'll do a little bit of a watch, but I'll also be singing lullabies to the light baby.
Excellent.
When I'm bored.
Excellent. In that case, what I would like you to do is you would have firearms, and then you would have your persuasion, and you may add whichever attribute to those you would like, and you'll take the lower of the 2 pools. And then you'll add your enhancement from your entertainer. And you'll roll that for me and divide your successes up between the 2.
Okay, let's not fuck it up. 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, 2 10s.
Excellent.
Roll again. 2 successes.
Excellent. So that's total
And then
of
what?
what's your entertainer merit at?
Oh, 3 dots and entertainer.
Excellent. So that's total of 5 successes that you're contributing to the group pool. You can spend them like 2 for your shooting and 3 for keeping the babies calm, or however you want. If you want to spend more on one than the other, you're welcome to do so.
I'm more interested in the light baby.
Excellent.
Personally.
Excellent. You may all also now take a level 1 bond with Glow Baby,
Yes.
or the pustule, if that's how you prefer to write it down. It's up to you.
She's
I
beautiful
love
to me.
Excellent. Hayden, give me a firearms roll with whatever you would like to, whatever attribute you'd like to lean on. As I'm assuming Darcy and Hayden are sort of taking the 2 turrets as you're making your way through.
For sure, Hayden's going to take one. I don't know how I did this, but 2 of my dice landed stacked on each other. So I'm
Nice.
Yep. All right. Okay. For all that fuss, that's 2 successes.
Excellent. So we've got 2 and 2 in terms of defense. Well, in terms of offense, I guess I should say. Rev, What are you leaning on for the actual course of the?
I was sitting on the roof keeping a lookout, but when Darcy started singing, I got very distracted by that, climbed in the cab and sat next to the pallet to listen.
Excellent.
When there was a bit of silence after that, I started noting how she was holding the gun and then did likewise for Hayden. And now I'm basically giving both of them firearm instruction
Excellent.
Gonna need it.
instead of keeping lookout. Melting my cold loner heart here.
Wonderful. So in that case, then, are you going to lean in on maybe building that bond instead because you're inside?
If the bond grows, that's great, but my character's focus is a manipulation firearms role to try to help them understand how to handle a gun better, which
Sure.
ironically is a bond building activity for me.
Perfect.
My shooting ability is a family thing and a touchstone.
Excellent.
In an abstract sense, this game doesn't have touchstones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Beautiful. Excellent. So that will effectively, you can split it equally 3 and 3 for enhancement. Or you can pull up to 2 of those successes to further pump into your group bond. You could do 1 into your group bond, 1 into the bond with the baby, or you can do 2 into the group bond.
That's a lot of options. I'll split them 3 ways between the 2 and the 2 back here with me on the guns and the pallet of babies.
Excellent. So your personal bond with the group bond with the baby is now at a 2, or the babies is now at a 2, and you each have 2 enhancement additional on top of your firearms. Please keep track of what your personal results are for those firearms, because I will be asking momentarily. And last but most certainly not least, Topher, give me a piloting check, would you? Unless there's something else you wanted to try to rely on.
No, I'll be relying on my pilot. That's okay. I will also be relying on my. I'm gonna go with. How's the ride? Is it bumpy or smooth?
That's relatively smooth. I mean, there's paved ground most of the way to the big AC. There's potholes. There's problems. There's a couple of roadblock terrain. You run across a roadblock because on the way there, the thing that's going to complicate your day that I've had you make all these rolls for is a pack of headhunters about an hour outside of town that are going to try to stall out your vehicle and then jump you and cut your faces off.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'll go with Dex.
Excellent. And you can spend that momentum. You have spent that momentum to alleviate the complications
Yes.
brought about by the roadblock. Excuse me.
And I have personally. Oh, wait. I have 6 successes.
Excellent.
You said we have now a 2-point bond with GG 666701-US. That's his tracking number.
Yes.
All right.
That is correct.
Good luck.
All right. So to break this down into a narrative, you are zipping along the highway on your way to the big AC. You see up ahead some detritus has been laid in the road to get in your way. You drop the plow and are able to crash through it, but it does slow you down enough that a group of about a half dozen headhunters come pulling up, 3 on either side on bikes. Hayden and Darcy, you're able to get a pretty good view. Like Topher, you're seeing them in the rear view, but it's not entirely clear what's going on with them. You see 6 people on bikes, no helmets. Hayden and Darcy, you both have the privilege of seeing them up close enough to realize that each of these people is wearing a face stapled to their face. So it looks like they had possibly even removed their own face and then stapled someone else's face to their head.
What the hell did I miss?
We found your face thieves.
There was a roadblock that Topher deftly broke through. But six, like a pack basically of headhunters came riding up, three on either side of the vehicle. Fortunately, between Rav calling out shots and your prowess with each of these, you're able to dispatch them. But please do tell me, Hayden, how are you handling your three, the three on your side of the vehicle?
I'm mumbling, oh, what the and very
Stop.
carefully just like, okay, look, this is not hard to focus on. It's hard to look away from, and picking them off one by one until they're all gone.
Excellent. And are you targeting the raiders or their vehicles?
The Raiders.
Their vehicles.
All right, excellent. Fortunately, you're able to shoot out their tires relatively easily with the number of successes that you've amassed. However,
Rav calls out, not in the face.
I will give you an opportunity to change tactics as you fire at the first one and catch the front tire of their bike, and they just like go over like ass over tea kettle. So like you realize very quickly that attempt to humanely take them down didn't work, as they turn into like road pizza for about 20 yards up the highway behind you once they have flipped over.
Yeah, we'll look at that and be like, well, they're gonna hurt someone else if I keep them alive, and just murk the other two slightly mercilessly.
Actually, the other two are clear. One is a clear headshot, which does in fact ruin the face it was wearing. The other one though is right in the throat, and it just kind of falls off the bike, and the bike continues on for about 20, 30 yards before it eventually falls over on its own. Darcy.
I feel like
yes?
if Hayden ever has a specialty to firearms, it'll be headshots.
Excellent. I love it. Darcy, tactically, what are you doing to the three raiders on your side of the vehicle?
I guess I'll shoot at them.
Excellent. Any particular
Try not to
targeting
hit
or
the
just
face.
kind of spraying the area?
Yeah, like, get out of here.
Right. So Hayden's sort of taking like planned shots, and Darcy just starts screaming and like spraying the entire,
I
Yeah.
like the two different approaches.
flattening the raiders on that side.
He's not a bad shot, but he's throwing away bullets like candy. Doesn't know how to take his time.
Due to
She forgets everything you said in the lesson. It's like,
Line it up, look the devil in the eye, and pull the trigger.
If they're dead, Rav.
due to your
Speaking of, Squawk Box, pull over.
okay, so that's a
Oh, right. No, this
10.
makes total sense. Well, hold on. So has the problem been?
yeah, Darcy, you didn't need to make that. Was the previous roll took care of the success, so you're good.
Oh, okay.
You've taken them
Cool.
out. That's why I kind of had everybody roll all at once so that we could just do a narrative thing. Though they given the amount of successes y'all were throwing around, they weren't a big threat to you. You do pull over, and they're all clearly down. A couple of them are still twitching, but they're all very clearly taken out. What would you like to do now that you've pulled over, F?
Is the stapled face at all salvageable?
4 of them are. Like all of them, all 6 of them appear to have ripped off their own face and stapled someone else's face on.
Well, hey, 4 and 6 chance it's the right one. Break out them D6s in a D10 game. Okay, yeah, I'll just get my butcher's cleaver and do a little couture work. Yeah, meanwhile, if there's any good bits, just butcher's cleaver. Put those in the cooler. I'm borrowing this. And if they got any good gear, just roll them really quick. bullets, ammo, spare gun, usable patches, gas from the tank. I don't know. I take.
Sure.
You know,
Hayden will
if you wanna just
go
give me-
and
Give me
sorry,
my
go
other
ahead.
sandwich. You can just have the cooler.
Sure thing, boss.
Hayden goes along with Rav, and just the two that are still twitching, they'll just snap their necks.
Excellent. The one probably did still have some life in them. The second one that's still twitching, you're like, oh, that's just nervous response. They're definitely dead.
Do you think there's a philosophical conundrum between saving lives by ending some or sparing the ones that would kill others?
I don't know. What do you think about utilitarianism? Okay, that answers that.
Dude, you eat people.
We all eat people eventually.
It may look like it, but I don't.
Oh, you eat something that ate people. I'm just a few steps ahead.
You collect the remaining faces and are all able to load back into the vehicle. If you want to take the time to siphon their gas, you certainly can. That will leave you out on the road and exposed for probably about 20 minutes.
I'd leave that up to the driver. He'd know best.
I already have enough fuel to make the trip. That was part of the initial pickup, so I'm not too worried about it. And I'm assuming refueled in.
Yeah, you'd have refueled.
Are any of these bikes like vaguely salvageable? Like, could we load one in the back really quick? And
Yeah, I would say probably 4 of them would still run if you needed them to run.
Or
So you probably don't have room for 4 of them in the back.
no,
But you could easily
one, maybe 2.
snag 2. Yeah.
Cool.
nice.
Hey, I
Excellent.
love games with salvage.
Yeah.
I'm
And
thorough.
you can probably pull a total of, I would say, 6 scrap out of the various junk you can pull off of the other bikes before you need to hit the road.
Cool.
And you sort of pull off into the away from the sunset as you start making your way to the big AC, which you see in the in the background up ahead as we wrap things up for this session. So, any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about tonight's game?
Having a ball.
Good.
So much fun.
Excellent. You have successfully dropped off one of your packages and are well on the way to dropping off a second. You've managed to build some more rapport with one another and kill a few headhunters in the process. Some parties were had and some repairs were done, and you all got a little bit closer to the glow, baby. Did anyone take care of any short-term aspirations?
Yeah, both of mine.
Excellent.
Did would killing the headhunters count as helping a local?
Yes. Yes,
Then I made one.
because you did, in fact, retrieve somebody's face. You're going to have to drop it back off on the way back through. So that's 2 for Topher, 1 for Hayden. Darcy, short-term aspirations?
Ooh, I might have completed all of them, maybe.
Okay, what were they?
Check in with the Light of Eden. We had a party.
You absolutely did. You may
Find a
take a
new
point for that.
audience. I've never been to that town.
That is
So,
also
I
true.
guess-
So yeah, you have completed 2 of your short-term aspirations. Good job.
And, and I tried to convert Darcy to the faith of Light and of Eden.
And that was a long-term aspiration, right?
And I mean, Hayden tried to open up to someone.
We'll say that one's in process.
I think so.
Rev, how about short-term aspirations?
Got them both.
Excellent. So that's 2 XP for you. 2 XP for everyone, but Hayden got the 1. What was your other short-term aspiration?
Me?
No, Hayden.
Oh, it was help a local and open up to someone. Are too short. Make the right call is my long term.
Okay.
I mean, maybe I made the right call murdering the shit out of headhunters, but it still feels a little like it's not necessarily terribly narratively weighty.
It hasn't been a difficult call. I would argue that you opened up a bit. You and Darcy had that exchange. If you feel that was not, you feel that was too surface, that's fine. We can hang
You
on.
took a bit 4 gulps before you opened up to me. But
Yeah, I guess it's just alcohol related. I feel like as I left that general, I could take that, but the next social step is going to have to be a little more involved. Probably.
That's fair. So everybody can take two. I'm feeling generous, and I would love to have people come up with new short-term aspirations for next session. So everybody gets 2. Congratulations for that.
Do we get a bonus one for each of us achieving a short-term aspiration?
Yes, that is an extra XP. So that's 3 for everybody. You did spend half the momentum, so that's 4 for everybody. And you reached a story milestone. You dropped off one of the bebes. So that is 5 for everyone. That's where we will wrap things up for this week. We'll be back at least next week and possibly one more session after that. In the interim, I do want to remind everyone that we have game night coming up at the end of this month, the 31st, last Friday of the month. Information in the chat over at start.playing games. Also, you can find information over on our Discord. I want to remind everyone that we do have the OGL sale going on over at Indie Press Revolution. That goes on through the 31st. Scarred Lands, Legend Lore, First Edition Pugmire, all half off, as well as a couple of Chronicles of Darkness books, including Changeling the Lost 2nd Edition and Dark Airs 2. And
So
then
good.
I do believe tomorrow is the kickoff for Trinity Continuum Player's Guide. But you can head over to the link I just threw in chat, and you can sign up to get notified right away. If I'm not mistaken, there are some extra goodies for folks who back early. So I would recommend checking that out, getting in on the ground floor right away. I believe the Monday meeting notes for this week just went up. So you should, as soon as you get done here, you should head over there and check those out. I have been Travis. My pronouns have been he and they. And when I'm not running games, I'm writing them. You can find me on the interwebs at the name that's under my name, under my face. CJ, please tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, and anything you would care to promote.
Hi everyone, I am CJ, they, them. I am a TTRPG and LARP writer and performer. I am at CJ Starry pretty much everywhere except Instagram because it's CJ.Starry because somebody took my name. And you can find me here and at Ink and Lyre right now. I'm having a great time and I can't believe this is wrapping up shortly. I feel like there's so much more story to tell.
There is a lot more story to tell, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. You never know. I'm always open to sequels. Keep an eye on audience. Keep an eye on things. Speaking of sequels, there will be shows being announced very soon in the vein of sequels.
It's a great crew. You guys are awesome.
We thank you. We do try. And speaking of
all of you except Travis.
That means he's doing his job right.
Speaking of awesome, Kevin, please give us your pronouns.
Oh, you. Hi, Kevin Zarnicki here. He, him, they, if you must. Besides that, game designer, voice actor, teacher of both. Find me at Necromancy 101. And have you played Kenshi? It's so good. Why aren't you playing Kenshi? Go play Kenshi. That's my plug for the week.
Excellent. And
with over 3,000 hours, I feel qualified to say that.
That is a lot of time on that game, and we appreciate the shout out and the point. And speaking of shout outs, Haley, please, your pertinence.
Hi everyone, I'm Haley, also known as Babe_Blade 666. I actually do have some upcoming games and some plugs this time.
Oh, sweet.
Now that I remember. So this Thursday, I'm playing Session 0 of Call of Cthulhu with Restless Barbarian Gaming. So watch me discover how to play that game, because I never played that. And on April 9th, we're doing a game with Girls Run These Worlds where we're playing a homebrew kind of game where we're dolls, but we're brought to life. So I'm excited for the makeup and the photo shoots on that one.
Awesome. I look forward to seeing
Yeah.
that. So you'll be doing your cosplay will be up on your Insta.
Oh
As
yeah,
well?
probably.
Awesome. Helps if I actually type the proper command, but now I have the link up there in the chat. So go over and follow those channels. They both do amazing work. And speaking of amazing work, Lecco, please, your pertinence.
Hi, Aleco Rodriguez, teamleco.com, personal trainer and weight loss coach. Whether you eat veggies or Raiders, we can customize a nutrition strategy and training plan in line with your preferences, improve your life and survival chances in the dystopian and infested future. I'm your reach for a free consultation at the website or via Twitter at Team Leco. I've been playing Topher, the Green Gopher of Green Gopher Dispatch and Delivery. Our glowing review guarantee delivers hope in a patent-pending Z-proof packaging in a hopeless world.
And once again, I greatly appreciate you being here. I appreciate the audience for coming and checking out what we're doing. You are all awesome, and I am very, very pleased that I get to spend this time with you. If you've not yet done so and you're watching, please make sure that you followed, subscribed, all that good stuff. And take care of yourselves and each other. We will see you same bat time, same bat channel next week.
Bye. Thank you.